Because I'm, like I said, I'm involved in a IT company, so it takes up a bit of my time.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I really like it, and I always thought there must be a way. There must be a way to crack it. So I've gone down the route of there's a guy called Martin Cole, who I've followed and some of his videos and stuff, and he's very big on market manipulation and how you wait for like the stop fund and the manipulation move, and then you get into the profit release and all of that. And it all sounds good, and he's obviously made money with that, but I understand the theory behind it, but just applying it to actual trading, the practical way, sitting
Yes.
here and doing it just I never could get that right. I
Okay.
just maybe 1 out of 10 I'll hit a good trade, and I'm like, wow, okay, I've got it now, and then you kind of get so overconfident that you just lose
Yep.
it all in the next three trades anyway.
Yeah, and see
Um,
that's where the trading plan comes in, so
yeah.
that's the whole purpose. So
But
just
if you don't understand the logic behind it, if you
yeah.
don't fully understand it and you make it your own, then you can't really come up with a trading plan.
Exactly.
Um,
That's the point. So it's never just a trading plan, it's always an effective trading plan. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, yes,
That's just the bottom line. It's always an effective trading plan. It's not just a trading plan, right? So, you know, um anyways, I started recording, so cuz I'm going to upload this to the drive and I'm going to upload it online.
I'm good.
So, we got Hugo here from just tell. I just want you to kind of just say where you're from, and then we're just gonna go into our one-on-one session.
All right, hundreds. Okay, okay. I'm from Cape Town, South Africa. Yeah, and well, that's about it.
Perfect. That's great. Like Hugo was talking to me for quite a while, and finally decided he's like, I want mentorship. He joined on board, and actually, Hugo, in my opinion, kind of crushes it a lot. It seems like he has a really good understanding. So, he reached out. We scheduled a one-on-one. So moving forward, this is kind of how I go about things, Hugo. So, when it comes to trading, what are you struggling with most?
All right, I think what I've really actually think I've grasped over the last maybe 1 or 2 weeks, like I said, from the webinars that you've done and just the chats we've had, I think I'm picking up how to kind of wait for the confirmation, and seeing, okay, well, the move is going to happen now, waiting for that.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with that. I do think my entries are way off still. I get in, and then there's a pullback, and then I'm in drawdown, and then eventually it goes my way.
Yeah.
So I need to work. Obviously, the entries is something I want to get better with, and then the big thing for me, where I think I've got no confidence or I'm not 100% sure I'm doing it right, or whether there is even a right way or not, is support and resistance.
Okay.
It feels like I end up just with many lines on the screen always.
Okay. So we'll touch on that first. Then we'll
Yep.
go because that's going to be important, right? So the way what I'm doing on my charts, right? I'm going like let's just start off with the daily, for example, because we're in a clear, strong downtrend, right? So when I'm drawing up
Yeah.
my zones, all I'm looking for times like this. See how this becomes. This is the lowest. Like if you see left, we go left. You see how there's nothing, right? Like we
Yeah.
just have nothing, right? So if price is gonna come down this far, for an example, going from resistance to support, what I'm doing is I'm looking for places price has been, and I'm drawing up my zones, right? So there's a nice spot. I'm looking left here. I notice this. I noticed these two firm kind of positions. This was a point that price was the lowest low at one point, and I'm just drawing it across the
Yeah.
board. And you can see when you draw it across the board, see how price touches, price touches, price touches, price touches, and this is on the daily, right? So what that's going to look like is on the 4 hour time frame, it's going to be even stronger, right? Because you're going to have more candles. The daily is made up all of these, 6 candles makes up the one day for the 4 hour time frame,
So
right?
there's so Carl, there is no. There's no. I've read other articles and other guys posting about support resistance and zones and all of that. some of them will say, yeah, you draw the zone, covering the wicks and just up to the open and close of the candles and things like that. That's too technical. That's not really the focus, right?
To be honest, it seems pretty spot on because, like, for an example, like this candle closed here, right? So, like,
Yeah.
if we were looking back at this time, right? Like everybody took this. A lot of people took this trade. So the daily closed, right? We're in a clear downtrend, right? We have price makes another lower high, right? Price makes another lower high, right? Lower high, lower high, lower low, lower low, right? Let me just draw this out real quick just so that it becomes more apparent into your mind, right? So when we're following the momentum, right? Like, see, here's a wick to fill, right? This is a daily wick to fill, and we're already in a clear downtrend. So we're just following the momentum, right? This was literally right when the new 4-hour candle opened for the daily, or actually just basically when the new daily opened. So when you have the support and the resistance zones, it's very important. Like, we draw up our zones across the map just so you can see like how many times where it goes, etc. But if we're going down, like, we're coming down to here. And then if we're going down even further, you have to just keep drawing up the zones across the map to get a clean.
Okay, but now, sorry to interrupt you, but what about, for example, now the if you just the zone, if you just go a bit to the left, more, just scroll the screen or just shrink it a bit, just zoom out.
Yeah.
Those 2 wicks there on the left, where your mouse cursor is now, just at the bottom, that low there with the 2 wicks.
This one here?
More left.
This one.
That low there. Yes. Okay. There we go. Would you not draw a zone there?
Oh yeah. So it's all relative. Like, like the zone could be like here, and then you just draw it up because you see, like, look, it touches here, it touches here, right? It comes back. It's just touching this whole area. Yeah, 100%. So, like, by drawing up a zone here, right? Like, if we're gonna say we're going down, if we're gonna break this support, because this was the most recent support, then we're going down to here. If we're gonna break there, we're probably going down to there, right? And then if we're gonna break that, we're gonna go down even further. So it's just a matter on drawing up these support and resistance zones just by looking left, right?
Yes, it's just almost like a roadmap for you. I mean, it doesn't mean it's gonna reverse it. It might just crash through it. It might reverse completely. It's for you to kind of, like I think you mentioned, it's almost your profit targets, where well, maybe if you, because typically what I'll do is I'll get in maybe 2 positions, one at take profit at 10 pips, and then another one which I'll take profit at the next zone or something like that.
Yeah, that's great.
But then I'm not always sure if I've got my zones right. Am I at the right place, or nothing happened there, or things like that.
Yeah.
But I guess that's the thing. You it's there for you to see, well, something may happen here.
Yeah. So like for me, I mean, I've just spent so many countless hours. I can have nothing on the screen and then just look left and just draw up zones. Like, this is where it's going, because you just train your eye, right? Like, you can see here, like, okay, price has touched this area so many times. That's a strong zone, right? You can see right here, boom, it's touch, it's touch, it's touch. So we're on the daily. Let's go down to the 4-hour now. Now we're on the 4-hour time frame. And then you can get a better idea based off that daily where these other zones are, right? Like, price touches here, price touches here. This was news, came all the way down, but it touches here again, touches here again, touches here again. And then finally, right, like, price always comes back, like, no matter what. Like, price is always going to come back to the zones, 100%. Whether it can be today, next year, next month, price is always going to come back and touch again. If you go back in time, as far back as you want to go, you can see, you can draw up the zone going all the way back to, 2000. I mean, it'll go back all the way to 1960, whatever. It's always going to go back, and it's always going to touch each other again. So to get the most effective zones, like, let's just go to real time now. Let's go to real time now, because we are in real time. I'm going to change the color so it's a little easier to see. Okay, so now we're on the 4-hour zone, right? So a little trick, like, when I'm trading, the best times for me that I'm focusing on are 6 a.m., 4-hour candle. This is very important. And then
Mm.
I leave a gap, right? Like if sometimes I don't want to trade in the morning. So part of my trading plan is if I'm not going to trade in that beginning, then I'm going to leave myself open to say, okay, well, 10 a.m. also, right?
Yeah.
Because the way that I'm trading based off of the hour time frames and the 4-hour time frames, my profits are usually within the two 15-minute candles. So it's the very beginning of the start of a candle. So sometimes we have wick fills, sometimes we have a discontinuation of momentum. Like there's always something that's easy. I like easy momentum trades. Some people say, well, why? Because my profits come quick and I usually experience zero drawdown.
So you see that's where I think I'm grasping the momentum side of things, and
this is what
and
when you
what
start
I've done
trading
now,
the momentum.
yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but when you start trading the momentum,
Yeah.
this is what will take you to the next level because then you develop your trading plan around these higher time frames, right? So this higher time frame, see, this was at 2 a.m. So 6 a.m. is the time I like to trade. If I didn't have any confirmation by 6 a.m., by 10 a.m., I'm probably going to have confirmation. And as you can see, right when 10 o'clock follows, look how strong this rejection is. There's no buying power. It's all selling power. So from 10 till 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it drops 31 pips, no drawdown, zero drawdown.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So this morning, for an example, I didn't trade at all today. Yesterday was a nice day. I didn't trade at all today. So, but when it pertains to these higher time frames, like I woke up this morning at 5:30, and I had saw like a big green. This is probably what it was. Yeah, I woke up like around here. I saw this big momentum like pushing up. I was too tired. I couldn't be bothered. I just didn't want to trade. I was like, I'm going back to sleep. I'm just too tired. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to. Yesterday was a big day. So for me, understanding that we have a gap. We have got a gap. We've got a 4-hour candle at 6 a.m. We got another 4-hour candle at 10 a.m. So if there is no confluence, like there's plenty of times to scalp. Like from 7 a.m. prices making higher highs and higher lows, and from 7 till 8:45, price goes up 20 something pips. So it's not like there's no opportunity at all in this time, right? It's not like there's no opportunity to be able to get in for like higher high, higher low, right? Higher high, a new higher low. This is the confirm that I would have been looking for to get in. And then as you can see, price just does it again until it hits another resistance, getting ready for the 10 o'clock. So if I was trading at 10 o'clock, for an example, let me shrink this zone up a bit. If I can, because it's pretty large. All right, so I just want it small on the screen because I want to move it, right? So I know we've got the 10 a.m. candle that's about to open. So what am I going to do? I'm going to look to see what price is done. Okay, we have a very, very easy resistance zone, and we've got a very, very easy support zone. That's it, right? This is where price has been consolidating. It's been consolidating since London, pretty much since London open until 10 o'clock. It has a nice consolidation range, right? So if I'm trading, and when I'm trading, I like to get on a little bit early. I like to get on a little bit early to either an open. Remember, like I've been talking to you about London Open, about the pre-pushes, right? So a pre-push is going to look like, let me get out my brush, right? So a pre-push might look like this. We might have, like, let's consider this like a London Open actually, let's just look at London Open and let's just do it live time. Okay, so we have, for an example, so here's about an hour before. So we end up making a lower high, and then this is 23:15 is 11 p.m., 11:15. So here's your pre-push. So it comes down, so it comes up, and then it goes down, right? And then it gets ready, and it doesn't break, and then by London Open, We end up going up. So this pre-push was a bearish push to have a bullish open, right? Sometimes we have a bullish push to have a bearish open. Sometimes we have a bullish push where price comes up all the way, like let's say it's making higher highs and higher lows, right? It comes up again, comes down again, and then we have London Open, which is real bullish. And then maybe by 1 a.m., like we hit a major resistance, and then we start coming back down, etc. Or we're gonna have lower highs, lower lows, maybe for a pre-open, or price is just gonna keep going down, 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 and it's just gonna keep going through the open, right? So when considering the fact that 10 a.m. is about to open, we look at the 4-hour time frame. We say, okay, what happened with the 4-hour time frame? Well, the 4-hour. Let me. I gotta delete this. Let me delete this. Cancel this. Okay. So, what do we have for this 4-hour now? We've got. It literally was the exact same trade as yesterday. Like there's no difference. Like look at the difference from yesterday. Here's 6 to 10, right? Here's 6 to 10. There's like no difference between yesterday and today. It's the same. It's just the same routines, right? So we say, all right. So if by 2 a.m. I didn't have clear momentum, right? Which there wasn't a lot of clear momentum at this time. It looked like price had made a lower high. So it looked like price would go down, yes. But what it ended up doing was it shot up to hit the resistance, and then it starts to go down, right? Now we've got a big wick to fill. So if I'm trading the 10 a.m. push, 10 a.m. hasn't happened yet, but you can see at where price is closing at, and you can get a kind of an idea of what we're looking for. So then when we go down to like the 15-minute, for an example, we've got our consolidation box, we've got our resistance and our support zones. We just look left and we draw up. It's pretty clear. We go to support, then to resistance, then to support, then to resistance, then to support, then to resistance, right? It's just that's what price is going to do. It's just there's plenty of opportunity to make money in consolidation, but I prefer the momentum trading. All right, so what do we got? We've got, let's do a pip count. We hit the resistance, boom, we come down 10 pips. Now, for this, you see how this candle closed so bullish but so small?
Yes.
This becomes like a 2-1 confirm. This becomes 1, which is going to be the highest high, and then we're going to have 2, because if this is going to be like if we know that 10 a.m. is probably going to have a push, we can see that 4-hour candle is closing below, so it's probably going to still be a bearish push. And if we looked at the currency meter, this is a bad example today because the currency meter on both ends were really weak. So typically when the US dollar and the Japanese yen are just absolutely weak like this, I tend to stay out and I tend to gravitate towards a pair like maybe GBP USD for an example, because we 100%.
Yeah, I tried it GJ.
Perfect.
Today.
Yeah, that's perfect.
That worked out well. Although I did get stuck in 2 sell trades. I don't know why. So
okay.
But I've had a good day actually, all in all.
Well, that's fantastic. So usually when we have the U.S. dollar so weak and the Japanese yen so weak, I typically tend to stay out. And the reason why I'm staying out is because we're probably just consolidating, right? But if it was if the Japanese yen was super strong and the U.S. dollar was still weak, I would have looked to get into the trade a little bit better. But it doesn't mean you still can't follow momentum trading. So when we go back to, here it is. When we go back to the chart, we say, okay, we probably got a push coming in. It's 10 o'clock now, right? So what did price do? Price broke down here. If this candle, this is why we wait for candles to close. If this candle would have pulled up way up here, either it's just gaining more liquidity, or I would have said wait for more confirm. Because what if it closed? If this candle would have came all the way up here, right? So, sorry, that looks really weird. But it came all the way up here, and then another candle closed really small, like underneath it. I would say that might be a 2-1 to go bullish. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Or if that green candle was bullish, and then you expect a bearish candle to follow that if it to continue lower, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah.
But this here, this whole thing is what a 2-1 confirm looks to me. Like, this is what it looks like for me. Is price cannot break this previous resistance. If this would have shot up all the way here, I possibly may have taken sell entries also if there was no news, because that probably would have just been a liquidity wick where it probably would have just been shooting up just to come back down, right? But waiting for more confirm.
You see, what I do now is where you've got the two, I would now wait for the bearish candle after the green one. And on that close, I'll sell. So, and then I'll obviously get a bit of drawdown. So I do feel my entries are a bit late. I would actually like to be able to get into the sell. Like you said, you almost want to get into the sell when a green candle closes because it's so small. You don't really see any bullish momentum in there.
And that's what I'm looking for my entries, because as soon as price like here's another example, right? So we're coming all the way down, right? This is right for 5 a.m. Now we have another lower high, and then you see how it drops below this previous support zone. So then even taking sell entries right here, just from zone to zone, having a profit target, just from zone to zone, right?
That's what I'm doing at the moment. Is I'm waiting for that confirmed candle.
That's good.
That one after the pullback,
and that's good. That's completely fine. Like like here, for example, we have the lowest low. Now we have higher low, higher high, higher low. By this point, this is 2-2 confirm going bullish. By this point, because this is now 2-2, right? Lower low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. We're going up. Another higher high, and then it just touches the resistance. But there's still, you can see momentum, and there's still possible entries to get into. So like right now, it's almost 11 o'clock. So the new 10 o'clock candle open. So even if you were to get in right at 10 o'clock, so here's right for 9:45. So as soon as this closed, this is the new 10 o'clock. You can see in the first 15-minute candle, it dropped 7 pips. And then the second one, we have 13 pips. There's our profit target. Our profit target is within the hour. It's within the push. When these new candles open, it's usually setting up, right? Because if we noticed what happened before, if I delete everything, was pertaining to this 4-hour candle, we have, ends up being another lower high, and then a potential wick to fill. So if we go down to that 15-minute time frame, we can see if the 15-minute time frame makes a 2-1 confirm, we'll follow the momentum. Chances are we're going to fill. And if we're going to continue down into momentum, then the next destination that we're going to go to is going to be these most recent supports, right?
Yeah.
Now, potentially, price can never break this, and then it can be like here. If it closes like bearish here, I would say it might come down and still tap this, or it can be an overall higher low. We might go up a little bit. We might just consolidate for a little bit.
Yeah.
We might just have a little bit of consolidation. However, if it's going to come down, the next real destination is, you can also look here. We've got a wick range here. It looks like we're pretty much going into this wick range, right? But but trading in the beginning of the 4-hour candles is crucial. Like from 10 o'clock,
because you're expecting that push.
Yeah, you're expecting the re-push, right? Because if we have like, for an example, let's go down to the hour time frame and let's look at what happened yesterday. All right, so yesterday we broke support on the 1-hour candle. So where are we going? Well, why would we be coming up? We wouldn't be coming up, right? We're just going to be falling into the momentum. Even getting in right at 11, going from the zone to zone, look at how much it drops. No drawdown. Absolutely zero drawdown. So, I like to trade risky, because once you get better at trading and you wait for a confirm, the price has its momentum. It doesn't matter how much money you're betting on this trade. You're not going to stop this trade from going into momentum unless you've got trillions of dollars that you're trading. Because Forex is a $1 trillion business. It's a $4 to $7 trillion a day is traded. So even if I'm betting on billions, I'm not going to move the market. You see, so when you just base your trading off of higher time frame momentum and you just follow the momentum, this is where you become safe. This is where you say, you know what? This is what separates the consistent traders from the weak traders. It's because, number one, trading plan. Most people are just not developing a trading plan. And like you said in the beginning of our video, most people don't even know how effective it is. So how can you have a trading plan if you don't really know how the market moves? Right? You got to be taught. The market is going to move in waves. It's obviously it's going to go up, down, up, down, up, down. But the market is going to make a higher high and then a higher low if it's bullish. If it's bearish, it's going to make a lower low and a lower high if it's bearish, right? So moving forward, right? Like just moving forward, if we're going to base our trading plans, this is why I'm coming up with the group trading plan for everyone, where everybody is on a group trading plan and we're all trading around specific times. Because if I'm hyper scalping, for example, Hugo, like let me just get like my profits come so fast that like here's a perfect 2-1 confirm on a 5-minute time frame hyper scalp right here. So clear momentum. I don't trade at this time, but you can see now you can see kind of like we're going down. But what I'm looking for, like you can see that price left us off with wicks to fill, but you see how this closed? You see how this closed below this? So here's our recent resistance. Here's our support, right? So this is a perfect 2-1 confirm for me. So if I'm looking at 2-1 confirms, price closes really small, and this was 15-minute time frames, like 1, 2, 3. This is 1 15-minute time frame, 1, 2, 3, right? These make up 15-minute time frames. So if I know that the 15-minute time frame is saying that we're going bearish, and I have a 2-1 confirm on the 5-minute time frame, I'm taking entries. So you can see, like if I'm hyper scalping and I trade here, well, okay, there's already 5 pips. If I'm going full margin on a trade, a few entries at full margin, for example, and I take in 5 pips, I'm probably closing already. And then what did it end up doing? It ends up going in 10 minutes, 11 pips. I'm done for the day. So if I'm hyper scalping just myself, it becomes harder for me to tell the team, hey guys, I'm taking sells now, because my profits come so quick. Maybe you guys get in like down here, and then maybe you guys get afraid. You don't know if it's going to keep going. You don't know what to do. So it's not it's not reliable if you only live off of signals. But if the team, as a group, we're on a trading plan that's together, where we say we're looking at this time, we're looking at these types of entries, we're waiting for a pullback to happen. Everybody is in sync with each other, and this is something. This is something that I've never done. I've never seen it happen. But it's just a matter on mentorship and student cooperation, because if we do this together as a team, it's going to open your eyes up quicker to how the market moves, because everybody's going to be doing the same thing together.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
that would be that's definitely the way to go.
So so if part of our trading plan is saying, well, if the morning had consolidation all morning, by 10 o'clock we're probably going to have a push, because that's the way these candles work. If we have more, all right. So and then like let's say for the next 4 hours, price comes and consolidates some more. Well, guess what? By the new 4-hour candle, we're going to have a nice push. The longer, like the rule of thumb is, the longer the consolidation, the bigger the breakout. So if we just have so much consolidation for 4 hours, 8 hours, what do you think? By the time the next 4-hour candle comes, we're going to have confirm. We're going to have breakout. You know what I'm saying? It's going to happen. It's going to happen. But
and then also you need to have the confidence then to also hold the trade and not get scared when it's 5 pips in profit, and close it when you're targeting 10 or 15.
Yeah, and that's the point. You want to be able to have. That's why for me with my trading plan is I like to my profit target is 10 pips per position. 10 pips, people when you're trading on smaller accounts, 10 pips is like, oh, I only made $5, or I only made $10, I only made $60. But when you're on higher accounts, like let's say 10.0 standards, right? That's $1,000 per pip. So if I got 10 entries and I get 10 pips each entry, that's 10 grand. So that's why
that's what I've got in my trading plan now is basically if you don't mind if I run you through it quickly.
Yeah, let's do it.
So basically what I do is I'll get to to the charts around 9 a.m. my time, because London Open is 10 a.m. my time. So I'll pitch up here at around 8:39ish, and then I'll have a look. And obviously the 4-hour candle closes 8 a.m. my time as well. So I've got that to reference.
Yeah.
And then I'll either look at the London pre-push or the London Open then, and see if I can determine direction from that, and then take my position with that. Just going for 10 pips. That's it.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what I've been doing for the last 2 weeks now. And what it's given me is kind of you always look at what price does at Wix and all of that, but you don't always have the time component of it. Where you sit and you say, well, I'm here at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. and that's what I wait for, and that's what I look for. And like you also said in the videos, if you don't have confirmation by 10, then you wait for 11. If you don't have it by 11, then you wait for 12, and you see if you do get it.
That's it, because you're going to have confirmation. You're going to have it, because sometimes, Hugo, this is what I love about it so much. Like, let's look at the hour time frame, for example. Let's just find a great example that, here's a great example. So we've got, this is probably 6 a.m. Yep, sure is. So we've got, I took this trade, that's how I can recognize it. So let's say you've got no confirm, let's say in the morning, right? I've got no confirm. So if you wait for the next hour, you can maybe get some more momentum, because what did price do? Price ended up dropping all the way down 24 pips, and then it pulled up. Yeah. So by the time the next hour candle forms, now we've got a wick to go fill. So it's the same concept for you if you're trading the London time, right? Yes. Like if you don't have confirm in that morning, maybe by the next hour candle, you do have confirm. There's going to be confirm at one way or another. You're going to end up getting confirm if you just wait. That's why I like
wait. I mean, the patience just to sit around and just wait for that. I don't have it. I don't see it yet. And that's something you kind of, you only get that sense of knowing, once you've spent time in the charts and you've pitched up every morning and you've had a look at the open and you see what happens and you understand. Well, it may take me 5 minutes to get my confirmation, or it may take me 2 or 3 hours to get it. But just be here.
Yeah. So my rule of thumb really is I don't like to trade more than 2 hours a day. I usually, Hugo, I'm not even joking though. Because of the trading plan and the way that I've trained my eyes, it's usually 15, 30 minutes, because I'm looking to trade in the beginning of a 1 hour candle. I'm looking to trade the beginning of a 4 hour candle. It's just like right now, right? Like this is what my eyes are trained for. If I know we're going to have a potential push at 10 a.m. and we have a 2-1 confirm already, like look, this is 9:30 and we already have like 2-1 confirm. So why would we be going up, right? We have 2-1 confirm. The new 4 hour candle is about to open for 10 a.m. So you just follow the momentum. And then look, here's by 10:15, all of our profit is already taken. Look at like 12 pips. So you bag your 10 pips and you're done. That's why, like, let's say we open up 4 positions. We've got 4 positions open. We got 2 pips that took home 10 pips each, two positions that took home 10 pips each, and then we have one with stop loss and profit. Because if it's going to drop, then just leave your stop loss in profit and then just let it do its thing. Look at it later. You don't need to trade anymore. You catch the move, you're done for the day. That's it.
You see, that's exactly what my goal is as well. Is I want to just teach myself to get here, be ready for the open. That's what I want to trade. And like you said, 2 hours. I mean, if I can get to a stage where I'm around here for 2 hours, maybe you get your trade in the first half an hour and you're done anyway. But at least you know that's what you do, and you don't overtrade. And because I mean I've had situations now where I'll get my profit in the morning, my 10 pips, and then I see something else later during the day. I'm like, oh, that looks good, and then I'll take it, and then I lose my 10 pips, and then I need to make it up, things like that. So you also want to you don't want to put yourself in that situation.
Yeah, and that's the point. Like that's another point as to why I even started mentorship, because when I started trading, I learned it from just some Joe Schmo, and he did not know what to trade. He had he had all these EMAs on the screen, and he made up these things saying, well, when it comes here, it's in second level, it's in fourth level. Like, there's no such thing as like third, fourth, and fifth level in Forex. It's just support and resistance and price action. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Yeah.
I studied for 8 months a bad strategy, and all I did was lose all my money, everything. And everything
Yeah.
that got me to the point that I am today is just from spending countless hours, number one, in the chart, and number two,
Yeah.
just following the plan. Like, and
Yeah.
understanding that everything that I'm trading is based off of a higher time frame. And I'm looking for wick fills, momentum, 2-2
Yes.
confirms. Like, that's all I'm looking for. I'm looking for easy things to be able to get in and get out and enjoy your day. Because you can easily do, like, let's say you have let's say you're trading and you have $100 account, for an example, right? We have $100 account and we go full margin on it or something, right? And you take the 100 all the way to, let's say, 250 in one trade, right? Let's just say this for
Yeah.
example. So you go from 100 to 250 in one trade. All this was doing was waiting for confirm, waiting for, okay, 10 o'clock's going to happen. I see a 2-1 confirm by 9:30, so I know that 10 a.m. is going to have a push. So here's your pre-push, and it goes into just pushing even more. So when we have these specific like
Yeah.
trading plans, like you can confidently get exponential account growth every time you trade.
Yeah.
You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? So instead of rushing a trade, like this morning, I woke up at 5:30, my alarm went off, and then this whole candle was bullish, and my eyes still had crusties in them. I was tired. I looked at it, and I looked at the 4 hour time frame. The 4 hour time frame looked like just like this. So I said, okay, it's a potential lower high. We might be going down to the low side, but I don't know where price is going. Like, I didn't take time to assess the market. I didn't put
Yeah.
any I didn't do anything. I just went back to sleep. I was just like, you know what?
Yeah.
I don't need to trade right now. Let's wait. So if we wait all day, all morning, all the way just until the 10 o'clock candle opens, you can see that there's no time that you can miss an opportunity trading if you just wait for
Yes.
confirmation. Okay, now we have confirmation. So now you can go full margin, catch your 10 pips, and you just had 100% account growth, 400% account growth.
Yeah.
Transfer all your profit into another account and do the same thing tomorrow. It's just that
Yes.
easy. Only if you follow higher time frame. After we had higher time
Yeah.
frame confirm yesterday, price, now we have a whole wick to fill. So what did it do for the Asian Open? It filled the wick. It just filled the wick. When prices and momentum, wicks
Yeah.
always get filled. That's 25 pips, 20 actually more, but with spread, let's just say 25 pips, zero drawdown. Or I mean, it looked like if you entered right off the candle, you may have suffered a little bit of drawdown. I think it was 2 pips.
Yeah.
Actually, let's look. Okay, 4 pips drawdown. Four to 25. What? Really? Is that even?
Yeah.
Is that even worth it? Like, just to get freaked out if it's going into a little bit of drawdown? No, because we're
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
following the higher time frame momentum. So you stack
Yes.
up everything, base everything around 4 hour time frames. If you don't have confirmation, don't trade. That's it. If there's no confirmation, don't trade. You don't have to trade today. Chances are tomorrow you're going to have confirm. And then tomorrow you can really make your money. You know, sometimes when you go to
Yeah.
work, like I was in car sales, I go to work for car sales. I don't sell a car for a day. It's the same process with trading Forex. If there's no setup and I don't take a trade, well, it's the same concept. Sometimes you go to work, maybe you don't have confirm, maybe you don't make that money for that day, but the next money somebody comes into work and they buy the biggest, baddest truck and you make all the money. It's the same thing with Forex
Yeah.
trading. You just
Yes.
have to wait.
Yeah. And I think that's a big thing. That's yeah. I guess that's yeah. By far the biggest issue is that you don't want to wait because you wanna make the money now, and you wanna know that you're doing it right now, and all of that. So and that's why I wanted to get involved with you as well. It's just to hear it from someone else, and give you that advice and say, well, it's okay to wait. This is what you wait for. This is when it's right, and all of that.
Yeah, you want to wait. Like it's just it. What it does is it relieves a lot of stress, Hugo, because it's like if I'm entering a sell like right here after 9, like the candle close, I'm entering right for the 10 a.m. You know, already seeing that I had the 2-1 confirm. You just set your set your entries and set your stop loss. So let's talk about stop loss a little bit real quick. Um, and I'm just letting you know I have to leave shortly for an actual appointment, a doctor's appointment.
100.
But we're still gonna catch up no matter what.
No.
Okay, so for an example, Hugo. So when I'm using I'm using the 15-minute time frame for entries, but most importantly for stop losses, because you can see off this 15-minute time frame, right? Like we can see, okay, well, this is. I don't know if it's gonna let me. Nope. All right, hold on. Let me. There we go. That'll be fine. Okay, so we have. If I'm entering sales here, my stop loss is going to be around this wick range area, because this is the highest point possible, right? If I'm putting 4 entries and I have sell confirm, well, okay, so there's my risk, right? Your risk is 6 pips. If you go all the way up here, maybe a little more, so around 10 pips, let's say, right? You've got maybe around a 10 pip risk, and then you have your next zone, which is your profit target area, right? And we had the wick fill. We had that 4-hour wick fill. So you say your risk to reward. Okay, so we drop 20 pips almost. And but we risked, let's say 6 pips, but what did the drawdown really go to? The drawdown really went, if we entered right here, 2 pips? Big freaking deal.
Yeah.
You've got 2 pips drawdown versus 18 pips profit. So we're sell confirm. We're already sell confirm. We know the 4-hour candle is about to potentially make a push. So what do? You just get into the freaking market. Like, this is part of my trading plan. Like in the drive, it says wait for 4-hour time frame confluence, spot your 2-2s, right? So this is part of my trading plan. My trading plan is looking for like a 2-2 or a 2-1. So here's a 2-1 confirm by 9:30. By 9:45, we really have confirm, right? This is just a small liquidity wick. It's nothing. It means nothing, and it just tanks. There's all your confirm.
But the confirm for you is the fact that small bull candle.
It's smaller than,
I mean,
it's small.
The look of that, the fact that it was unable really to push up higher.
Yeah.
And the way it closed there, that's the confirm.
Yeah, that determines the that determines the confirm for me, absolutely.
Okay.
So, but if this
and obviously the push down before that was that very bearish push down, and the failure to really retrace back up.
Yeah, this right here ended up being like really 100% confirm. So even stacking sales, and even if it's coming up here a little bit, it's just not being afraid. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so it goes up 2 pips, 3 pips, whatever. Like there's more confirm because now we've broken structure, like we've broken this structure. So now we're going down to this wick range area. We're going to this wick range area. We're going to this wick, right? So like, we draw up, like we're coming down here. If you're just looking at the 15-minute zones, we're coming here, right? We're already here. So like you just look and you say, well, here's some wick range, here's some wick range, here's just wick areas that we can go to, but the actual zones are understood from the higher time frame. That so for the 4-hour, we had okay, the new candle opened, now we have a 4-hour wick fill. Price made a lower high on the 4-hour time frame. So where's the buying power at? There's no buying power. We're going down. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to go all the way down, but for the meantime, we're going down. Like we went down and we collected all the profit in the first few 15-minute candles, and then you're done.
And that's the other thing is that I mean, you're not in it to make 100 pips in the trade. You want 10 pips.
That's it.
That's the goal.
That's the goal, because if we're opening up 10 entries, guess what? We just got 100 pips in 15 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I prefer scalping over swinging. Like I know a lot of swing traders where like they go for like 100 pips for one position. I'm like, okay, but I'll catch 500 pips on one trade in the morning with confirm, just opening up 20 entries, 30 entries. So I don't.
And that's the other thing for me is I always thought I would want to do swing trading and all of that. That's what I understood from it and what I thought I'd get into. And then over the last couple of months, I just obviously started focusing on just like the 10 pips, small profit, and thinking, well, I can take 5 positions if I want. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Why should I sit in a trade for 2 days if I can be in it for an hour and be out with the same pips anyway?
That's the point, Hugo. That's why I like scalping, because when you scalp, Like, don't get me wrong. I love like swinging. I would be the best swing trader in the world if I held any of my scalps.
Yeah.
That's just the way. That's just the bottom line. Like my profits come and I
Yeah.
get out and I'm done for the day.
Yeah.
But if I would just run more stop loss and profit, usually they go another 10 pips, 20 pips, 30 pips, whatever. But people are literally they think that by catching 100 pips in one position is awesome when you can do the exact same thing on a scalp and open up 10 positions and you can get the same thing in 15 minutes. So why would I want to wait a whole day to get my profit when I can wait 15 minutes and I'm in and out?
Yeah.
That's why I prefer scalping over swinging, but it doesn't mean that as a scalper we cannot scalp to swing. So if we position ourselves correctly, like here for an example, this is from 6 o'clock till 10 o'clock. If we position ourselves correctly and we draw up all of our zones by looking left off the daily time frame, of course, just we can't see anything on the 4 hours, so we got to go to the daily to understand where price is going. If we enter in all sell positions here and we have scalp to swing, well, 10 pips come fairly quickly, but then look how much it ends up going down.
Yes.
And that's only from writing like our stop loss in profit, and then it just keeps going and it keeps going, and you can still scalp in between. You can still scalp as your margin is increasing in your account. You can use that available free margin to get into the market some more and get more scalps in.
Yes.
But it all just depends on the trading plan. So like my trading plan, it's not really based around scalp to swinging. That just becomes something where I just end up holding, where it's like I'm just going to scalp the swing and see how far it goes. You know what I'm saying?
I understand. Yeah.
So I like the scalp. Like yesterday I caught it's like 350 to 400 pips. Just by opening up a bunch of positions and my take profit and I actually had no stop loss in yesterday. I put no stop loss. I was just so confident in what was going on. I was like, well, I can't put a stop loss. I'm putting in too many entries. And then the next thing you know, like I'm in zero drawdown at all. I experienced not a single bit of drawdown, and you just let the trade ride. You just ride the wave. So, I hope. Yeah, I know we have to go. I hope that this quick one-on-one it revealed something. It helped you a little bit with something.
No, definitely. Thanks, Carl. I appreciate it, man.
Absolutely.
I don't want to hold you if you need to run.
Oh no, you're good. So let's schedule another time. Let's implement things that like you've learned today, and let's just wait for those 4-hour candles. And then if you have questions, post them in the group chat, and let's just assess the market together. And we'll say this is what I'm seeing, and then let's take the trade, or no, let's not take the trade. Let's just wait a little bit longer. You know what I'm saying? So, but I do hope that you took away something that's going to help you further along into your trading plan.
No, it definitely will. I'm sure it was nice to be able to ask questions and just like smaller details and things that sometimes you've got in your head that you think is important that may not necessarily be important and things like that you get stuck in. So so it was really, really helpful. Thanks.
Perfect. Thanks, brother. All right, so I'm gonna close shop. I'm gonna upload this. I'm gonna upload this to the drive and online, just so that other people can view it. But let's just continue working together. This year's gonna be huge. Your life is gonna change drastically this year.
Yeah, thanks, man.
No problem, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
Cool. Catch you soon. Bye.
Thanks so much, brother.